Hello, I'm Enzo, and today I'll be playing more Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out. And in this episode, we start off with the rocket interior. Now, it's not the best and it's not special, it's just something that works. We don't have any real Atmo suits set up yet. That's because where we're going, we don't really need Atmo suits. Remember when I was talking about the awesome steam boiler? Well, here's its single greatest use, is fueling steam rockets. It's literally all the setup you need to fuel a steam rocket in one small building. And it can take lumber, coal, or natural gas. I don't have to make a crazy setup anymore. I love this mod. I'm pretty sure a duplicant on the second Planetoid got food poisoning. I think that's what happened here, but they got better. I actually get this achievement more rarely than you'd think. I'll start this off by saying, remember that Trivaldo? I don't have the clip of me renaming them, but I did rename them to Z23. So there she is now. The reason we don't need Atmos suits for this mission is because I'll be sending them over to the third planetoid, aka the nuclear swamp, or the swamp with a nuclear cold core. And because it's a swamp, it's full of polluted oxygen, which they can breathe. And I have no plans to go to the freezing core right now, so they don't need Atmos suits. Like I've said before, I won't be showing every single rocket launch, especially as we get to late game, but this is a pretty important one, because this is a massive rocket, and it's our first massive rocket. So there we go. I also just wanted to see what the steam would do to the environment. Because this is the first time we're landing on a planet in this series, I'm also going to show it, because, it's a pretty important achievement. My best tip for this is to send down a builder. I would say you can send down a digger, but building is more important because they have to be able to build a rocket pad within a certain amount of time. They have a lot of oxygen in their Atmos suit, but it will run out eventually, and you kind of want to prioritize landing the rocket. Mostly so that the rest of your duplicants can come down and actually start settling the planet, or doing what else you're there for. But then again, digging out rock is pretty important if you want to make ladders, so it's your choice, although I usually, like here, send one of each. However, the game didn't like that for some reason. I don't know what it had to do with bioinks, but let's just say that was a bizarre glitch, and I'll have to reload. Okay, so I reload, everything's normal, until I look at the bottom left corner to equip an Atmos suit. There's something slightly wrong here. I don't really know which one that is, but yeah, it's an Atmos suit, I guess. This is clearly just a cool visual bug, but it was still neat to see. Alright, the reason we're coming here in the first place is we're looking for Thimble because Thimble is on this planetoid, and I desperately want some to start making Atmos suits. Dracos are good early game, but not once you get a bunch of duplicants and you have an insane amount of Atmos suits that have to be constantly repaired. So we're gonna need some plants. That's why we're excavating this entire planetoid. And honestly, I have no clue what I'm going to do with this satellite, but it's radioactive, and I could potentially use that in the future. But I will have to block it off for now, since it's a little bit of a hazard. I'm checking out the nuclear biome, and it's pretty neat. It's cold, there's a Saturn critter trap that's almost on the same block. It's a real shame that betas can't step up and down blocks, or else that'd be an awesome hydrogen farm, but I'm sure I can manage something eventually. Anyways, the whole point, I'm gonna have to block off this area. A lot of it's exposed due to bad world gen, and I don't want all of the cold coming out of the cold biome and freezing the rest of the planetoid. Especially because I'm planning to grow some of the thimbleweed here with all the polluted water and mud that's available. Also, a lot more of it was exposed than I first thought, so we have a lot to block off. Still though, it is actually pretty neat world gen, especially with that huge chunk of polluted mud right there. I thought it was neat. A combination of hypothermia almost constantly, polluted oxygen, and a few other factors have led to very high stress. So I'm just gonna put down a massage table to slightly help out our major issue. Back on the main planetoid, I'm extending the cooling loop. That salt water and polluted water have a lot of cold left in it. It's cooling down my base a bit too much. I'd rather use it to cool the rest of the world because it's pretty toasty down there. On the second planetoid, I am about to send my duplicants back to the first planetoid so they can rest up and repair their atmosuits and all that. But first, I want to build a rocket platform so that I can send a rocket here later on in the video. While we were excavating the third planetoid, I kind of discovered a few plug slugs. Now, they're cool critters and all, but they consume metal, which isn't exactly the best thing. Metal is very precious to me, so they're gonna have to be forcibly evolved. The only issue is that they also produce hydrogen as a byproduct, and that just gets everywhere. I can only say good things about the AETN, by the way. Look at this. It's gotten so cold, it's solidified carbon dioxide and chlorine. That's like -40. That's crazy. The massage table is working great. The only issue is there's a little bit of carbon dioxide buildup in the rocket module, so I have to deal with that. All is going well excavating the third planetoid. All the cold parts are sealed off, and I'm converting a lot of the mud into water for future use. Although I do have to admit it's a little bit chilly here. That's why I'm concerned about if I will be able to grow thimbleweed here or not. I also kind of forgot they take polluted water, so I have to start extracting that instead. A new thing I've been doing is sealing off the very top of the planetoids where it says space exposure. This is just so I can get the most out of the natural background tiles that I can. It's also so that all that polluted mud doesn't just off-gas, because I can convert it into polluted water, which, like I said, is useful for growing thimbleweeds. I chose this spot because it was the warmest out of all the spots on the planetoid, but even this spot still needs some extra space heaters to help heat it up. Yeah, that's how much the cold biome has affected this place. Alright, I know what I've said before about not hiring more pilots, but this duplicant's a perfect pilot, and of course, it's hard for me to just deny Starry-Eyed. So, Ryuho. And eventually, the thimbleweed farm does start working. I'll just stay here a while until I'm out of polluted mud. But besides that, yeah, that's pretty much all we came here for. Thimbleweed and thimbleweed seeds. That's it. Something else I should have mentioned, in the background this entire time, I've been creating seeded bioinks to try and print some thimbleweed seeds. And guess what, I eventually did get lucky with one shipment of 2 thimbleweed seeds. So that's extremely exciting. I'm still going to bring all of them back, obviously, but it's nice to have some here now, because this is always what I do for my bathrooms. My bathroom output always feeds into thimbleweeds. Since I learned this, I've been using it. It's like the best thing ever to use your bathrooms for. In the background, I should also mention, my duplicants have been hard at work on the metal refineries. They've been refining an insane amount of copper, iron, and steel. Like, it's kind of crazy at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I have to say it. It should just be implied that they're always working in the background doing stuff like this, getting me more resources. I just wanted new players to know what's going on. One last thing before I leave the third planetoid is I'm adding a layer of insulated tiles. This is mostly so that the steam just doesn't cook the entire planetoid. I mean, yes, it won't do that much considering the planetoid is pretty cold, but yeah, I guess. This was a pretty stressful operation for all of my duplicants involved. But hey, now it's over. We have lots of thimbleweed and thimbleweed seeds to bring back home that we can now use. So, one duplicant is unlucky, in this case Z23, and doesn't get an Atmos suit. Now, I didn't know which duplicant originally dropped the worn Atmos suit, but one of them's not going to get an Atmos suit. And they're going to get scalded in that case. But it's fine, it's just a little bit of scalding. They'll recover. I decided to renovate the rocket. This is for a few reasons. Mostly because we're going to need Atmos suits for our next project. And it didn't really have a great setup for Atmos suits. So we're sacrificing the mess hall for more Atmos suits. And the beds don't have the best loadout, but you know, it works. It's just 1 or 2 morale boost. It's not that important. It's fine. It should work. So what's the mission this time? Well, we have 1 Shimikaze and a bunch of builders. This is because I have something I want to build on the second Planetoid that involves oil, which I'll be going over more in the next episode because I'm kind of running out of time here. Well, running out of clips specifically. But because I'm an idiot, and even though I did downsize my rocket a little bit, I didn't realize that I still built the rocket platform a little bit too low. I didn't realize there wasn't that much space up on this planetoid. So yeah, I should have kept them over a bit longer. So in the meantime, I'll send Shaklov back over so she can fix this. Once she's done though, she's gonna go right back home, because she has nothing else to do. I thought at first I had made a mistake by not keeping Shaklov here so she could build a ladder, because the duplicants don't have any materials, but after reload I kind of noticed something. I forgot to put Atmo suits in the Atmo suit docks, so whoops. I'll go into way more detail in the next episode, but all you need to know for now is that we're focusing on excavating the rest of the area in between the 2 oil biomes. We'll be using this magma for something. It also has to be a vacuum. That's enough hints at what it's gonna be. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing. This is gonna be Enzo from LookIntoGaming, signing out.